Khamzat Chimaev. We all know who he is. He needs no introduction. Neither does his style. We all know what Khamzat's game plan is. He's going to try and take you down and either submit you or beat you to a pulp, unless your name is Gerald Mearshart. Since Khamzat is facing perhaps his biggest challenge in 2 days, I figured I'd make a video discussing Khamzat's wrestling. Today we're going to look at his fights with Kamaru Usman, Kevin Holland, and Gilbert Burns. In a matchup with another stud wrestler like Kamaru, a lot of fans were wondering how their wrestling would match up. In the opening minutes of the fight, Khamzat immediately shoots, with what seems like a bad shot, his head low and not securing Kamaru's hips. Usman defends with a whizzer on the right side as Khamzat secures a single and completes the takedown with a treetop, securing a grip to Kamaru's far hip in order to take the back. From here, Khamzat sticks to Kamaru like glue. But let's take it back a minute. As Khamzat shoots, he's directly shooting to the knees. 99% of wrestling coaches will tell you this is the wrong thing to do, but he still completes the takedown. Khamzat employs a traditional wrist ride alternating between Kamaru's wrists in order to match which way he leans. In the second round, Khamzat feints a right hand, resets, then shoots a perfect double leg against the cage as Kamaru chest wraps to try and sweep Khamzat. Khamzat posts his far leg in order to stabilize and not get swept. In the third, he shoots again towards the knees, but Kamaru adjusts and sprawls hard, exploiting the sloppy entries. That being said, Khamzat also adjusts. With his next takedown, he shoots towards the knees again, grabbing an ankle before rising to a single leg that he transitions to a double. Khabib would be proud. He locks his hands under the butt and trips Kamaru as he finishes the takedown. In conclusion, his entries are sloppy, but he still finishes the takedowns. One of the best examples of Khamzat's most aggressive takedowns is in this fight. Before the clock can even begin counting down, Khamzat shoots immediately, once again in a rather sloppy entry as he spins to take Kevin's back. But honestly, Kevin does a good job with his Granby rolls, but Khamzat follows him and keeps a grip around Kevin's waist. When Kevin Granbys again, Khamzat elevates his body, sprawls, and positions himself for a Darce. I forgot to mention that Khamzat loves himself a Darce. Most tall wrestlers do, myself included. He forces the tap and wins, albeit to the crowd's displeasure. One thing about this performance that made me realize something: Granby rolls do not work on Khamzat. Moving on. Now I saved this fight for last in order to show Khamzat's defensive wrestling. In the second round, our favorite badass Brazilian shoots a takedown on Khamzat as he is backed up to the cage. Khamzat correctly presses down on the head and he posts and spins to not allow Burns to secure a grip. Later, as Gilbert works for a single, Khamzat grabs his half collar tie as he pushes his leg out. Going into the third round, after almost being chinned, Gilbert tries to take down Khamzat with a modified inside trip, Kerry Colat Henry Cejudo style. Khamzat defends beautifully by grabbing an underhook on the right side and gripping Gilbert's wrist in order to not allow his hands to secure a body lock. Khamzat is an anomaly, both in his style of wrestling and his personality. Will it be enough to stop the former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker? I mean, we're going to find out Saturday, so